Peace be upon you, my dear friends. Welcome back to your channel, The Storyteller, the channel that takes you with me into the magical world of tales and wonders. Tonight, we will live a very exciting story, the Moroccan Cinderella, but with an authentic Moroccan flavor, a story full of lessons, patience, and hope, one that will let your imagination travel for an hour and a half. Once upon a time, in a blessed era where everything began with the name of God, there was a beautiful Moroccan city. Its markets were full of life, its alleys narrow but bustling, and its people kind and always supportive of one another. In this city lived a young girl named Zara. Zara was truly a flower, beautiful, her face radiant, her words few, but always sincere. She was an orphan. Her mother had passed away when she was still young, so she lived only with her father, who loved her dearly. But as time passed, her father remarried a harsh woman who had two spoiled daughters, girls who knew nothing but how to demand and order others around. From the very first day that woman entered the house, jealousy burned inside her. She looked at Zara's beauty and patience, and her hatred grew stronger. She turned her into a servant, waking at dawn to fetch water from the spring, washing clothes until her hands cracked, cooking fragrant tagines and couscous for the whole house. Yet all Zara would taste was a piece of dry bread and an old yogurt. Every time Zara tried to find joy, they extinguished it. If she picked up a small book or sat at the doorway, they shouted, "Zara, heat the water. Zara, bring in the chickens. Zara, clean the carpets." She would stay silent, answering only in her heart, "God is great, and patience is the key to relief." One day, the Sultan's palace announced big news. The prince would hold a grand ball to choose his bride. The whole city shook with excitement. Girls rushed to seamstresses, buying embroidered caftans, preparing jewelry and gold. The stepmother and her daughters began plotting. "We must look more dazzling than anyone, so the prince will notice us." Amidst all that excitement, Zara sat alone, listening to laughter and chatter without being able to join. She had no dress, no shoes, and even if she dared to say she wanted to go, they mocked her. "What would you do in front of the prince, Zara? Stay here and shut the door behind us." And so, on the night of the ball, the stepsisters dressed in fine clothes and left with their mother, leaving Zara in a dark house. She sat by the window, tears streaming down her face, whispering, "Oh Lord, I too want to feel a moment of joy. I too am a daughter like them." Suddenly, she heard a gentle voice behind her. "Why are you crying, my child?" She turned to see the old neighbor woman entering. This woman was known in the neighborhood for her wisdom and kindness. Seeing Zara's tears, she said, "A girl with a pure heart like yours should never despair. Those who wronged you today, God will raise you above them tomorrow." She handed her a small box and said, "Here is a kandura I inherited from my grandmother, embroidered with golden threads, and a pair of traditional Moroccan slippers that shine like stars. Wear them tonight and go to the ball. Perhaps destiny is waiting for you." Zara could hardly believe it. She thanked her warmly, put on the gown, and in an instant she looked like the moon in the middle of the night. Her face glowing, her dress sparkling, her steps light. She went to the palace, and every eye turned to her. Even the prince, the moment he saw her, froze in place. Approaching her, he said, "What is this light that appeared before us tonight?" Zara blushed and replied, "Just a girl from your land, my lord." They sat together, speaking for hours, the prince enchanted by her simplicity. While all the other girls fought for his attention, he wanted to see only Zara. But as dawn approached, Zara grew afraid and ran home before being discovered. In her hurry, one slipper slipped from her foot. The prince, stunned, picked it up and declared, "I will not rest until I find the one who wore this slipper." The next day, soldiers began their search, going door to door. Families lined up, each girl trying on the slipper. When they reached the stepmother's house, her daughters tried forcing their feet inside, but it was useless. Finally, they brought Zara forward. The stepmother and her daughters scoffed. "Her? Just try and see." But the moment Zara slipped her foot inside, it fit perfectly, as though it had been made for her. The prince recognized her instantly and declared, "This is the bride I have been searching for." The stepmother and her daughters stood in shock, glaring with envy. Zara, however, remained silent, her eyes filled with tears of joy. She married the prince in a grand celebration. Amidst all the splendor, she never forgot the kindness of her old neighbor, whom she brought to live in the palace and honored greatly. And though Zara became a princess, she always remained humble, helping people, caring for the needy, and remembering that goodness had brought her to this place. And so, my friends, ends our tale of the Moroccan Cinderella Rose. The lesson we can take: true beauty is not in caftans or gold, but in a pure heart and patience through trials. Whoever relies on God, He will grant them relief from the widest of doors. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to support your channel, The Storyteller, with a like, a subscription, and a kind comment that would make me happy. Until we meet again with another thrilling story with The Storyteller.